Okay, this is Venice Healer Daisy. Everybody's fan favorite.
I want to show you guys a couple things. So there's the hair flip, shoulder, and there's the hair fluff. You want your hair to be fluffy. And then there's the flounce.
Okay, she's a jokester this morning. She
I've been
wanted
doing
to have fun.
Okay, I have a few updates. I've been doing some stand-up, and I'm really funny. Seriously, I've been doing stand-up on the boardwalk. I'm really funny. I like to talk about how silly the humans are. They're so cute. I love when the humans take a universal need and they put the word less afterwards, as if that's a thing. Like, if you don't have a home, you're a homeless human. Or if you don't have food, you're a foodless human. And we found a way to charge for water, so if you don't have access to running water, I guess there's a waterless human. Soon there will be an airless human. These are our universal needs, you know, but if you are experiencing scarcity and going without, then you could be stigmatized and labeled that whatever universal need you are missing. Seriously, so that's pretty funny, huh?
I was looking at other people while I'm filming.
Must not be that funny.
Because I know you want to talk, and I didn't want to interrupt, so don't ask me any questions.
Do you want to know?
Wait, you got a boop on your nose.
A boop?
Yeah.
Do you know that All Good has been...
Boop!
All Good
Gotcha.
has been teaching me to be a better person, and he's one of the 4 directors.
Wait, who?
All Good.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He's one of the 4 directors in my nonprofit, A Call to Love. And both...
Now, All Good is his actual name.
Yes.
That's his last
legal
name.
No,
Right.
middle name.
Oh, that's his middle name. Oh, okay.
He has 2 middle names like I do.
What's that?
He has 2 middle names. His real name is Alex.
What's the second middle name?
John. And then All Good, and then Welch.
Okay. What's your 2 middle names?
Well, my legal name was Charlene Esther Fodor.
What?
And then my mom changed it to Lindsay Charlene Esther Davis.
And now you, who called you Daisy first?
And I've been Daisy since I got to Venice.
But do you recall who called you Daisy first? Or did you name yourself Daisy?
I named myself Daisy.
Okay.
I'm going to do another interview with Soft White Underbelly.
We won't talk about the other channels. Which is your favorite channel?
Oh, I know.
Wait, which is your favorite channel,
I want
Daisy?
to talk about my kids.
She doesn't want to say mine because it's not.
I love Venice Gallery, but I want to talk about my kids. I really miss my kids. Parental alienation is something that happens a lot, and I would like to destigmatize it and make it a regular thing, just like trauma. Like, you don't have to be ashamed about addiction anymore. Alcoholics before had to be ashamed. So let us destigmatize domestic violence, child abuse. Let us destigmatize addiction.
Wait a
and
minute.
Parental alienation.
Wait a minute. You're talking about
I'm speaking generally, but these are all different categories that I want to look at as not something that carries a stigmatism where we make it taboo and we make it like...
Yeah, but you
like
just
that.
mentioned child abuse. How could you not be...
Let me explain to you
You
why,
can't
Gary.
desensitize that. You can't
Gary,
make it
I'm
other
about
than
to- I'm
taboo.
about to
It is
explain why.
taboo, though.
Gary, I'm going to tell you why we need to make it non-taboo. Were you abused as a child?
No.
Yes, you were. Were you ever struck by your parents?
I don't
Yes,
think
you
so.
Were you ever verbally abused by your
Some
parents?
people aren't struck. That's
Were you
what the
ever
parents
verbally
believe.
abused by your parents? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, right. I bet if I look back in your childhood, I would find otherwise. Yeah. Like,
Some
you want
people
me to-
aren't
You want me
abused.
to believe that your parents raised you your whole childhood without once verbally, physically, psychologically, never once abusing you. I don't believe you.
Okay, once or twice, maybe.
I don't believe you.
Okay, once
We
or
all-
twice, maybe.
okay, so we need to destigmatize and make it not taboo, because once we take it out of the shadows,
I'm going to tell you right now, that's impossible.
If you argue with
Wait,
your son,
I'm only giving the people my opinion. It'll never be not taboo. Thank you. That's all. Now you could say what you want.
when you make something taboo, you're making it into a shadow part. When you make something into a shadow part, it means
Hey,
it's not a
Chris.
fully integrated part. It means that you have made it other. You've made it bad. You act like you don't have it. And the second we act like we don't have something, all of us are verbally abusive sometimes. All of us are physically abusive sometimes. And to the degree, whatever it is for each person, you know, I'm not saying it's the same for everyone, but we all carry all vibrations. So we can get creative and conscious and be less harmful and more life affirming once we acknowledge we have it. Don't you agree? Let me continue. If you keep interrupting me, I'm not going to be able to do this interview.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Okay, let me continue. I want to make child abuse and parental alienation and all of that not taboo. Just like child abuse, if I look at people who are doing parental alienation, I say, oh, they're bad. Those people doing parental alienation, like, look at poor me. Look what happened to me. So these parental alienation people are bad. I'm not doing that either. What I'm saying is I want to make it non-taboo. So my mom and the foster parents who adopted my daughter, the people who have my kids, don't have to feel bad about alienating me, but we can acknowledge the harm. Okay, so whatever needs they're meeting by not letting my children have any relationship with their mother whatsoever, I don't know why that's ever okay, but for whatever reason, they're like, no, she can't. And there's no like, she's gonna hit, she's going to yell, she's going to abuse. There's none of that. They're just like, no, she can't see her. I'm going through parental alienation. I want it to be non-taboo because mine is textbook. So I want people to understand it like a regular thing, just like childhood abuse and trauma and happens to all of us. Parental alienation, hopefully it doesn't happen to you. It's happening to me. It's horrific for the parent and for the child. And textbook parental alienation looks like this. One caregiver or set of caregivers talks bad about another caregiver or set of caregivers and enemy images them to the child, whoever has custody. And then you can also, in the case of parental alienation, you can use the courts like a weapon, like with me. You can get restraining orders for no choice. You could scare the children into testifying. My children, my two boys were told that if I went to go see them or if I saw my kids, that they would not be allowed to see their sister. And my two boys were told to call the police if I came. My boys were told that they would go to a group home. And these are lies. And if it is true, like, why are we not working with the systems? Like, for that to not be the case, like, why is there so much resistance in getting families together and having families work through rifts? There's no reason for my family to be fighting for over 6 years while my kids are alienated from me. So I want to talk about my kids because that is the whole reason Daisy the Venice Healer is here. It's a big part of my superhero origin story, not being able to have access to my children and then getting ridden hard through the court systems. So I created a call to love, my nonprofit, so that caring community members like me who learn to not be addicted, who learn to not hit, who learn to not physically, verbally, psychologically abuse. I'm still working on myself, but I have a learning and growth mindset. So when stuff comes up, I get creative and conscious. I work with it. I don't have shadow parts where I'm like, oh no, not me. Like, I know I have a chance of doing everything. What's up, Gary? What are you pointing at? Coffee? Oh, you want some? You're cute. Drink. I want to talk about my kids because I have to do something called grief hour, and grief hour is what they call it. When I went to a partial hospitalization program for my PTSD for being alienated from my kids, I learned about grief hour, and it's where you don't walk around all day feeling depressed and sad and crying and mourning. You save it for later, and this is called grief hour. So it's not like you take a whole hour.
So right now, before I go break dance, I'm about to go ahead and take a chance at making people feel uncomfortable enough to donate to the Help a Nigga. Leave them alone.
Jeffrey, let me finish.
Special.
Jeffrey,
let's get left alone, you guys.
let me finish the
Leave
interview.
you the fuck alone for a small fee of. That's right, sweet
Jeffrey.
girl. That's right, a small fee of $10.
Quiet,
You
5
the fuck
minutes.
alone for about 1 month for $10. How you doing, interracial?
Give him
friend?
$10 now.
Yeah,
I need
Asian
him
and
to be
some kind of
quiet.
black guy. Wow, how you doing? You need a black man.
All right,
Look at her.
Jeffrey's
You're tall.
Jeffrey's
You
in our
see?
show.
No, not you. You look like a minor.
Let's go inside.
You look like no Drake.
That's good
no
contact.
Drake.
Don't
Sweet
erase it.
tall white baby milk of magnesia.